You want to become a good sniper in Call of Duty Mobile, don't you? This is what happens when you put these skills together in a high-skill, legendary lobby. The movement gets faster, the fights get harder, and every missed shot can cost you the gunfight. Getting to that level isn't about one secret trick. It's a combination of different skills that, when you put them together, can completely change the way you play with sniper rifles. Today, I'm going to show you what you need to become a better sniper in Call of Duty Mobile. We're going to look at your control layout, the main sniping methods, some techniques that make sniping easier, the movement you should learn, the perks that actually help, and finally, how to build a sniper that fits your playstyle. So, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. You see, the first thing you need to get right is your control layout. This is one of the most important parts of becoming a better sniper. Your layout needs to let you perform things like slide jumping, weapon switching, sliding, and aiming without those actions getting in each other's way. You should be able to move and aim at the same time without fighting your own controls. That's why having dedicated fingers for important buttons can make a huge difference. Once your layout feels natural, dodging shots becomes easier, your movement becomes cleaner, and you can focus much more on keeping your crosshair where it needs to be. So take your time with this part. Once your setup feels comfortable, everything else becomes much easier. Next, we have the actual sniping methods. There are three main styles you'll see most often in Call of Duty Mobile: quick scoping, hard scoping, and drag scoping. Quick scoping is when you take the shot almost immediately after bringing up your scope. You quickly ADS, line up the target, fire, and get back out of the scope. You'll use this a lot when you're playing aggressively and taking fast fights. The best way to practice it is in the training range. Spawn a few bots, keep moving, and start taking quick shots without standing still. Now, hard scoping is much simpler. You scope in, hold your position, wait for the enemy to appear or move into your line, and take the shot when you have it. This is useful when you're holding an angle or waiting for an enemy to challenge you. You can practice it by choosing a position in training mode and hitting bots as they move through your sightline. Then you've got drag scoping. This is a combination of quick reactions and crosshair adjustment. Your crosshair isn't always going to be sitting directly on the enemy, especially when they're sliding, strafing, or changing direction. So instead of waiting for perfect placement, you drag your scope onto the target and fire as soon as you line it up. To practice this, go into the training range and pick a fixed point, like a window or one of the targets. Start your crosshair away from it, then quickly drag onto the target and fire. If you consistently pass the target, lower your sniper sensitivity. If you keep stopping short, raise it. Keep adjusting until the movement feels natural, because once you get comfortable with drag scoping, you'll start using it in fights without even thinking about it. Now, there are a few techniques that can make your sniper gameplay even better. The first one is weapon switching. Snipers have slower movement and handling than most lightweight weapons, so switching to a faster secondary can help you reposition much more quickly after taking a shot. A melee weapon is especially useful for moving around the map quickly. Take your shot, switch, reposition, and then bring the sniper back out when you're ready for the next fight. The second technique is using peeker's advantage correctly. When you swing around a corner, you can sometimes see the enemy before they fully see you, depending on positioning, ping, and server timing. So if you already know an enemy is holding a corner, don't just stand there and give them the perfect angle. Slide or move through the corner while ready to fire. You're forcing the enemy to react to your movement instead of waiting for you to walk into their crosshair. The third technique is changing your position after a missed shot. This is something a lot of sniper players forget. You miss your shot, stay in the same place, and then take another peek from exactly the same angle. That's when you get punished. If you miss, change your position. Move left, move right, back up, or take a different angle. Make the enemy guess where you're going to appear next. And don't ignore hip fire either. At very close range, sometimes trying to scope in can take longer than the fight itself. If the enemy is already inside your space, a quick hip fire shot can be the better option depending on the weapon and situation. Now, let's talk about movement. You've probably seen good sniper players constantly moving while they shoot, but it's not just random movement. One movement technique is the backslide. The main purpose is to create space between you and the enemy. You sprint, turn your camera, slide backwards away from the enemy, and then return your aim forward. You can use that space to drag scope, quick scope, or simply reset the fight. Then there's redirection. Build some momentum with a slide or slide jump, then quickly change direction with a sharp turn. This can completely throw off an enemy who is pre-aiming your original movement. And finally, slide cancel. It is not some magical sniper trick, but it can help you stay mobile and keep your movement cleaner. The more comfortable you become with these basic movement techniques, the harder you are to hit while you're lining up your next shot. Now, perks. Your perk choices can make sniper gameplay much more comfortable. For the red slot, lightweight is great if you want faster movement. Agile can help with aiming after sprinting, which is useful when you're constantly moving between fights. And iron lungs can help you keep your sniper steadier while holding your aim for longer. For the green slot, toughness is one of the strongest options for snipers because it reduces flinch when you're being shot. That can make it much easier to stay on target and finish your shot instead of getting pushed completely off your crosshair. Quick fix is another useful option when you're playing aggressively because getting kills can help you recover and stay in the fight. And there are also perks that can improve your weapon switching depending on the loadout you're using. Finally, let's talk about the sniper itself. When you're building a sniper for multiplayer, your main priorities should usually be things like ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, and overall handling. You want the gun to come up quickly and let you take the shot before the enemy has time to react. Damage is also important, especially if an attachment can improve the weapon's damage multipliers or make your one-shot potential more reliable. You don't need to sacrifice everything just to make the gun faster though. Your build still needs to feel controllable, and if you're building a sniper for Battle Royale, range, accuracy, and other long-range stats become much more important because you're dealing with much larger engagements. So that's how you can start becoming a much better sniper in Call of Duty Mobile. But here's the thing, none of these techniques are going to make you a great sniper overnight. You still need to practice. Go into the training range, work on your quick scopes, practice your drag scopes, and get used to moving while keeping your crosshair ready. Then take that into real matches and keep practicing against actual players. The more you use these techniques, the more natural they'll become. And eventually, you won't even be thinking about the movement. You'll just be doing it. So go hit the training range, jump into some hardpoint shipment, and start putting those shots together. Good luck.